SEO versus PPC for lawyers. Which one is better? Now, let's quickly define exactly what we're talking about now, because over the years, Google has changed. If you take your main keyword, whether that's like Miami divorce attorney, LA car accident attorney, what you're gonna see on the very, very top are local service ads, AKA LSAs. Now that's different than what you're gonna see underneath that, which are your traditional PPC or pay-per-click ads. Underneath that, you're likely gonna see what we call the Google Maps pack. That's an organic listing that has the 3 results, the reviews, the pictures, the map, etc. And then underneath that, you'll see the traditional listings, AKA the SEO listings. Now, if we're talking about head-to-head, just SEO versus pay-per-click, which one is better? I have a perfect chart right here that's gonna break it down for you. That's gonna help you to understand how these things compare and contrast to each other. Now, I always suggest that you do both. And the reason being is because, as I said, when you take your main keyword and search for it, you get what I call a fractured result. There's local ads, pay-per-click ads, local maps, traditional results. If you are just putting all your chips onto one of those, the likelihood of you getting found is going to go down. So the more places that you are, the better results that you're going to get. Now, if you're just comparing and contrasting SEO versus PPC because of budgetary issues, there's a few things that you have to consider. One is that SEO is going to take a lot more time than PPC. The beautiful thing about PPC is that as soon as you turn them on, within a couple of weeks, you should start getting leads and phone calls as a result of the ads. Now, if you compare and contrast that to SEO is going to take 6, 12, maybe even 18 months, depending on your market, for how and when you're going to get those leads coming in through the door. Now, the beautiful thing about SEO is that over time, it grows like a hockey stick, right? Because it starts off very slow, but as you build more authority with search engines, and Google knows and understands and respects your website as an authority in the legal space, you're going to rank for more and more and more keywords, which is going to return more and more leads over time. And if you compare and contrast that to paid search is going to plateau, because as a lawyer, you're probably only licensed to operate in one state. And after a certain amount of time, you're going to hit a cap on how many keywords that you want to bid on to try and run your ads for, because you're not just going to bid on high informational keywords. In other words, keywords that don't have a high conversion intent. You're probably not going to want to spend your money bidding on those with ads because the clicks are very expensive and they're not going to convert into leads, and you're just going to spend a lot of money. Now, with SEO, you can create content on your website that will go after those keywords because they're not going to convert at a high level enough to invest in paying for those keywords, but because you can stack content very cheap over a long period of time, you can still capture that traffic with SEO. So again, the beautiful thing about SEO is that it's going to be long, sustainable growth over time, and it's going to keep growing over time. And your investment in SEO should stay the same. Assuming that you're going to pay an agency to do your SEO, they're going to charge you, call it $5,000 a month, right? Over the first 6 months, you might be underwater on that investment, but over the next 6 months, your traffic and your leads is going to continue to grow, and your ROI is going to grow over time. With paid search, it's going to be locked, right? Because you basically have to take a part of your acquisition costs and put it into the ads, which is going to take a part of your profit margin as well. So you have to be very mindful over which keywords you're going to bid on to try and generate leads, because in the legal space, especially if we're talking about injury and accident, the cost per click can be in the hundreds of dollars. So if you're spending a lot on different keywords, you're going to spend a lot of money on those, and eventually you're going to get to a point where you're just no longer profitable on those keyword searches, so your paid search is going to taper off. So this graph that I have shows you SEO over time growing like a hockey stick, but it takes a lot more time to start to hit that growth, whereas paid search is going to spike very quickly and then level off over time as you hit a cap on how many keywords are profitable for you to bid on. Now, of course, with paid search, what's great is you can keep on testing new keywords, and you can keep on trying new markets. You can try different practice areas. But what I would suggest, as always, is that if you're working on a more limited budget, pick one area of your practice area and focus on that. So for example, if you are a family law attorney, focus just on child custody or focus just on divorce. And even more so, I'd probably even pick one side of the fence between male and female. The more specific that you are, the better that your ads are going to perform, because you can scale vertically. In other words, you can go very, very deep into those topics as opposed to trying to spread it way too thin over a bunch of different keywords that are going to generate a lot of clicks, but you're not going to be able to get the right amount of clicks to test if those keywords are going to be profitable for you. So our agency uses what's called a blended search model, which takes both of them plus LSAs plus local SEO and jams it into one search campaign. We look at search marketing kind of like roulette, right? A lot of agencies will take your budget and say, okay, we're going to do SEO. or we're gonna do paid search, or we're gonna do LSAs, and they push all your chips onto one. But if you've ever played roulette, you know that in order to win, you gotta spread your chips across the board, because if one of those hits, it's gonna return more than what you put onto the board. And that's how we approach search marketing. We call it a blended search approach, where what we're doing is we're using paid campaigns to test keyword profitability and viability, and then we're using those to inform our SEO campaign to create organic content that lives on the website that can bring in traffic for free. So it's a symbiotic relationship that grows over time if you do it properly. But again, if you just push all your chips into one thing, first of all, you run the risk of that agency or that person, that contractor, or whoever you're having do that, doing it wrong and spending a lot of money and just burning you out, which happens all the time. Because when you operate in a very, very competitive space like the legal space, you have to be very mindful of the strategy that you're doing. It's no secret that you know that search engines are important. I don't think I'm up here telling you anything that you don't already know. But when you operate in competitive markets, the money is made in the details, right? The money is made in the minutia strategy. The money is made in paid search by continuously monitoring your campaigns on a daily basis and evaluating which keywords are not just driving leads and phone calls, but clients, right? You want to make sure that you're tracking from impression to click to lead to close deal inside of your CRM to inform the ads platform which keywords are driving value, which you can then take to your marketing team and inform which content you want to create organically. So it's a beautiful relationship that what we do with our clients now, as opposed to giving you a budget for just one or the other, we try and get a total holistic budget that we can then take and we can apply it appropriately based on your practice area in your market, because they're all a little bit different. Injury is different than divorce. Divorce is different than business. Business is different than bankruptcy. They're all different areas. Even though they all operate under the legal space, you have to be very mindful of who your customer is and how they're searching, how they're using search engines, and the different search patterns that they're using. And paid search is a great way to test that, to inform the strategy, to then feed back into organic and then build a symbiotic relationship. So if you need help with your law firm search marketing, there's a link below to speak directly to me. I will audit your website, I will audit your competitors, and I will show you the roadmap to how you can get more leads and more clients through search marketing. If not, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.